Hello, welcome to All Things Creative. My name is Emily. I don't know if I actually have ever mentioned that in my videos, but here we are. And I am here to talk about knitting. Knitting, I do crochet, I do knitting, I do some sewing, I do some cross stitch, you name it, felting. I haven't actually done a lot of these things on this channel, but this one is mostly about knitting. And so we're going to talk about things that I have finished, things that are in the process, and maybe things that I am thinking about doing. I'm actually videotaping this from my phone this time around instead of my camera, so hopefully this is working out okay. I did not feel like going through the hassle of editing videos from my camera and the phone and all that truffle. It's anyway, let's just skip all that, right? Okay, let's talk about things that I have finished. From last video, I finished this top, and I will link it, which one it is, because I don't remember, and I will link a video to show you guys what it looks like on me. I finished the top. I added edging with crochet. I found pattern on YouTube that I really liked, and I've added it on the sides, on the neck, the back, and the bottom. So when I blocked it, I had to pin each one of these little corners because they were curling. After blocking, it stays nicely. It doesn't curl like initially it did curl on the bottom. The only other thing I could say is that I wish it was made from top down, because putting it on, it feels a little short for me. Kind of seems a little cropped. And the armholes are small. So that's a little disappointing. I've also started at the right size, I think, and then I decided to decrease size down, and I think that was a mistake I made. Because even after blocking it, it seems kind of small, which is so disappointing, but that's okay. The other thing about this yarn, I could say, this was Isabell baby alpaca, and it was like lace weight, so I held double. Putting it on, it seems a little prickly. Like feeling it with your hands, it feels soft, but once you put it on the skin, it's a little bit itchy, and I am not a fan of that. So I don't think I will use that yarn again, but I know there is another Isabell alpaca that I purchased recently is much more softer, that I will most likely use if they have neutral colors, and I'm sure they do. So anyway, it took forever, but it's really cute after blocking. And the stitches were like very not even, but I think it's not bad. So okay, I wanted to show you guys the top, even though it's kind of small. But so yeah, it's like very if I were to knit this top down, I think it would have been better. Like the arms are very tight, and I think adding a trim did not help that. This is the front. It's a little bit higher than the back. The dip of the color, the neck, whatever you want to call that. You can see my holes in my stitching. Nobody's perfect, right? This is PetiteKnit something. PetiteKnit something. Basic PetiteKnit. Everybody loves PetiteKnit. She has great classic items. Very easy to follow instructions. Very easy to understand. There's no problems there. I just did the different legends, and that's that. Stay. The next thing, and I think I've mentioned previously that I was knitting on a little scarf, like a bandana thing. This is the one that I started. I picked up 2 yarns from my trip from California, and anyway, there was this pattern that they had. I will link down below what pattern it is because I don't remember at the top of my head. I am so bad with names. I am so unprepared. Anywho, so there's this. Please don't judge. I talked about this yarn in last video. If you're curious, I will also link it down below which yarn I use. Wonderful yarn. And say hello to my cat. Hi, Day. Hi, Dale. I am using his window porch to porch my camera to do this video. He's like, why is this bundle of joy in the middle of my bed? Anywho, so I did this. I have followed the pattern. Also very easy pattern. Beautiful. This is probably like 2-day knit. The camera is shaking, I'm sorry. And the yarn is wonderful. It's like a thicker, like a braided. How would I even describe that? It's a great yarn. Anyway, it's very soft. It's very buttery. It's like a. It's not a thicker yarn. It's DK, I believe. Is it a DK? It's thicker than fingering weight. Anyway, and it's a wonderful yarn. So I made one of these for me, and I started with these colors for myself, and then my sister wanted one for her birthday. Her birthday is in November. I'm like on top of presents. And so I did one for her, and these are the colors that she picked. I did decide to make this longer because I felt like mine is a little short. The idea was to wrap it around the neck, and this is how I would wear it. I do not wear things on my head, like other than hats, of course, but and scarves, but not like bandanas, I guess is what I mean. It's a little bit short looking, and from what I can recall in the store, when I was looking at the pattern, there was a knitted one up, which is the reason why I really liked it, and it was like, oh, I could probably make one, and it was really cute. My cat says, let me out. Hold on a sec. Working on, this is Bonnie. Sorry, Bonnie and Clyde. So I'm working on a Bonnie one. The main color is the yellow, and I'm gonna do the burgundy for the stripes. It's very pretty. Yeah. Let's see if it'll actually focus. Yeah, that's better. It has this like brown intertwine of, I think that's yak, I guess. Like, I don't know if you can tell if you like zoom in the little fuzzies that are brown. It's not like fully yellow caramel looking. It has like brown fuzzies. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's so soft and beautiful. Anyway, so I made these 2. This is for my sister for her birthday, and this is mine. And to be honest, I could make like another one of these of each color because I have like, I think half of each ball. And what I meant by the strings are like thicker and have little braids. I don't know if you can tell, but they are, the camera will not focus, of course. I don't know if you can see. They are like intertwined inside. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's a great yarn. This is yak, and I think like merino wool maybe. I know there's yak in here, and it's very buttery and very soft. Enough about the yarn. I don't remember the name because I couldn't even pronounce the name if I wanted to. I will link it down below. Sorry. Anyway, those two are done. They're really cute, fast knit. I think maybe like 2 days for each. I did these basically over the weekend and always like that one. There's that. The next thing I did is the project I actually remember a name for, and this one is called the Goodbunny. And it's the Goodbunny. This little thing has taken me over a weekend, and let's talk about it. The Goodbunny is, I don't remember what yarn I used, some kind of decay. You can literally use any decay. You can make any size you want. Mine is itty bitty. I think mine is actually smaller than what the pattern is called for. You can make them bigger, and you can make them even smaller. And so, very easy knit up. I have knitted previously, gosh, I don't have my book out right now. Other animals. Excuse me. And so, this one is very simple. You did not have to do much, honestly. You start with, what did I start with? The legs, okay? If I remember correctly. Gosh, I should probably start videotaping the process because I don't remember. I really do have terrible memory. Anyway, so you start with the legs. You go with the belly and you do the coconut, the head. And the head is peeking to the sky. I decided to go with just embroidered eyes. I like them more embroidered. I like them safety wise, like that. And then you add the ears and the arms that you sew on. The lady who wrote the pattern, she's very great to understand, very easy. Excuse me, to have any problems with her, and she puts on like little stitches to mark where you put your arms, so you don't even have to guess. The only thing that she didn't do, which you may have heard of, is there was no tail. So I did my own tail. Little tiny polka dot. And I did the dress. I kind of designed my own easy pattern. I put it on her front and then the bottom edging to the size I wanted. I believe I altered the sleeves. I can't remember by much, but you can literally go on with it and do whatever you want. You can add your own thing in here, and I knitted this dress on a fingering weight sock yarn, I think. Although I may have added more stitch into it. I can't remember now. Because I wanted to make sure that it fits on her little body. And so I did that. I knitted a little hat with the pompon on the top, and so the hat does not really want to stay, probably because her head is pointing to the sky, and it just slides down. Like, you can't even see, like, you have to look up at her to see the hat, which is kind of silly, and I tried to tighten up in here. She has like a little lump. She looks like a little gnome, but it's okay, right? Whatever. And then I made a little what you call this? A shawl. My brain is not all together. Anyway, the shawl is knitted in one piece. I believe she started the length and then you going down to shrink. And this was some kind of a ruffle thing that she had. There's a video that she shows in the pattern how to do this, and once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. But it adds this cute little ruffle. This is also like some form of fingering weight sock that I had laying around. Honestly, you do not need a lot of yarn for this. Maybe at some point I'll make a Goodbunny, but for right now, I have satisfied my toy desire to make for the month or 2 or 3. But there she is. She's cute. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like I said, there's a good bear too. I think she lady has a couple other toys that she made, maybe like a turtle or something. I might be wrong, but anyway, the other one I want to make, at least one animal by Mochi and Friends, and I have heard that the bear, his name is Mochi, if you know what I'm talking about, from the book. It's from like Masha and the Bear, and I am very familiar with Russian, so it's funny that they call him Mochi. I don't know, because Masha is technically a girl. Medved is the bear, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I might be wrong, but anyway, there's the Goodbunny. See you later, Goodbunny. What else did I finish? I think that was actually it. Okay, working on a little embroidery project. I will send pictures on how I started. But we are, let's say, halfway through. I have some things to fill in and add details. Pinterest idea. I just had my own ring fabric and I ordered Amazon embroidery because I couldn't find mine. I think it was like $8 for all of these colors, and you get a lot, so that's the project of the day today. And this little guy's tiny, so, or gal, whatever it is. It's cute though. I haven't knitted a pair of socks probably through the entire summer, and I love making socks. Okay, I love me some good pair of socks. Anywho, I had this yarn from Yarnabelle subscription a while back. I am not on the subscription anymore, but if you guys are interested, great stuff, great box. I've never had any issues. I love their stuff. Their yarn is very soft. Anywho, so I literally just started this like a day ago. And so this is what we're working at. I put in a different color. I don't remember if this color came with the Garnable or not. The subscription I had was with one ball and one half. So like perfect for socks if you want to do two color. You know? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway. So there's these. And I like to do two at the same time. Saves me a lot of time. Unless you're working on color work socks, like where you have a lot of pattern with the motifs and stuff. Do not recommend doing two at the same time because you're going to have a lot of yarn balls going around everywhere. And let me tell you, it's annoying. Did not try that. Did not work. So yeah, so you need two balls to do double. And honestly, there's nothing complicated. If you know how to do, if you've done DPNs, great for you. I hate them. Well, I don't hate them, but I don't like them. I will use them if I have to. In fact, I had to do that for the Goodbunny. You really do need to use DPNs in there, but so much easier to do this magic loop, whatever you call this. This is great. Okay. Anyway, pair of socks have been started, and they're just plain basic socks with the yarn from Yarnable or any other yarn that you have. I believe I am knitting on, what is this size? You can tell I've used the life out of these needles because I can't even read. 3M? Looks like it's 3M. I know people knit socks at like 2M. I used follow the pattern by String of Lights, I think, if I'm not wrong. I've talked about it before. I really am caffeinated. I can't breathe. I've used her pattern several times. I made socks for my sister. I made socks for myself. I made socks for my husband. I've also used that for my kids, I believe. I am going to continue, and the next on what I've been working on is this sweater. I don't think it's a sweater. It's like a little vest that I want to make, and I have started it. I've gotten a yarn for it. Hopefully this thing is loading. By this lady. It's called Stargazer Vest. It's very cute. And I am using, I'm sorry, so this is basically where I'm at. I have done all of this. I'm actually making a very big size. I do not, I am, keep getting interrupted by life today. Yeah, anyway, so I am here. You start at the bottom, and it's supposedly it should have like 8 to 14 inches of positive ease, which is quite a bit. But I wanted to go on a extra bigger size, well, not extra, but bigger size, so that it's not small again. Because every time I think, oh my gosh, it's going to be so big, I, excuse me, somehow end up having it too small, and I just waste all the time and end up being very disappointed, essentially. So anyway, so you start from the bottom, and I have 2 pieces. This is going to be the front, and you knit on this, I think she calls it a broken rib. It kind of looks like this. Don't mind my son having conversations in our living room with his animals. Okay, that's what you're hearing. If you hear some noise, that's what it is. And so this is what the back looks like. Kind of like the back too. It's very pretty. And I'm using and the cats are meowing. It's one of those days. I'm using Rowan Felt Tweed. And I'm going to use 2 colors. So this is what they look like. They have little specks of like blue, white, and what else do we see here? Some orange, some grays, some black. It's just like a pretty tweed colors. I was really thinking that this would be more red, but it's definitely more what you see on camera, honestly. I think Apple does a pretty good job on detecting the color, as well as this one. This one is really pretty. I like that it's not any lighter or whiter. I don't lean towards white colors generally, more some muted shades, so these are great. But I think if I were to pick a different color, I would do more of the coppery orange that they had there, that I thought might be too bright, and so I went with this one. But if I were to, I think I am going to actually get more of that copper orangey color for something else that I have in mind for something. It's a little rabbit lady that had a bunny and that died, and she writes beautiful colorwork patterns that are kind of like Nordic with sweaters and things. And she has come out with these little, you call them granny squares in crochet, but they're little squares with little bunnies, and there's a cat, and that you can make like a sweater, a cardigan that she has. So I ordered one of those books that I'm super excited to receive, and just kind of start on that and make like a little cardigan that I would like to make. There's other options, but I want a cardigan. It's so cute. Anyway, the other thing I am planning on doing is I have watched a lady who did felt slippers. She started with knitting. I will put her name hopefully somewhere here. Okay. And she did this whole process of slippers, following a pattern by knitting, and then she folded them in the machine or something like that. And I want to do that, and so I ordered some felt yarn that's on its way. I want to try that and see if it'll work, and if that works, I would like to make a pair for my husband. He could really use a pair of slippers. And because those are woolly or will be woolly, he's like, he loves all the heat stuff, all the toasty, and especially comes to heat and things like that. So that would be fun. But I want to experiment on myself first to not go through the whole hassle and trouble if it doesn't work. But the lady did a great job on describing everything, and so I don't think that should be a problem. Anyway, so I ordered some yarn that's on its way, and the books, a couple books. Color is this? This is color. I don't know, shade 194 if you're curious, but I will link these shades that I picked out in down description. Okay, I forgot to do that from my last video, by the way. Sorry about that. Anywho, yeah. So and the pattern that I'm thinking of going for, he wanted just a basic hat. I'm gonna go with the PetiteKnit, the Hipster Hat. Boys and girls and kids. It's like a flip. I don't know, what is it? 2x2 rib. It looks like a 2x2 rib, I guess, and it's a flip for more heat in the ears, and that is kind of what my dad has requested, to have more heat in the ears, and I think this would be good because this is real wool. He just doesn't like itchy, which, who likes itchy? I don't like itchy either. Some of you can probably tolerate that more than I or anybody else, but I'm actually very picky with wool and things. So, but I have to say, this one is actually, it feels less itchy than Isabell baby alpaca, which is this. Because if you were to feel it by the hand, this is actually, it feels drier. But I read online that recommend if you are washing it, add a little bit of like conditioner or something. I don't know if any of you have experienced any of that, to how to make this softer. My Sophie hood. That's one name I do remember because I have stuck with this thing for like, golly, over half a year, I think. Because I don't know if you guys can remember, those of you who are following or not following, but from the previous videos, probably from the very beginning of my vlogging or whatever, when I started this, I started the Sophie's hood from cashmere from Knitting for Olive. The name escaped me for a second. And by PetiteKnit, Sophie hood. I ran out of yarn, and I did not realize that the lady who has created this pattern also used the same yarn and the same color. And so for the longest time, and I don't know if it's back, but this color is sold out. Literally sold out everywhere. And so I held the cashmere and mohair. I think 2 strings of cashmere and 1 string of mohair, if I'm not wrong. And so I was out of cashmere for a very hot minute, and I actually twice had to go to a different website that I like to purchase my yarn from, and just basically gamble it to see if the color fits, and the color is fine. There's no difference. They're all the same. It was just finding the shade was difficult of anything that was available, and my gosh, my back is killing me. Anyway, so yeah, I finished this, and I only literally had, I think, was like half of one side, down. So yeah, what else can I say? Yeah, so I did finish this, and I look like a little granny with it, but I will show you guys some pictures. Sorry about the messy hair. So, we finished this, and currently it is hanging down. look like a bit like a Red Riding Hood. But it's handy because if you need a little hat, it's there. Or hood. Obviously right now it's like 90 degrees in the heat. Not perfect weather for that, so. But I want to say that I finished it, so yay! And it's pretty. I believe she has the Sophie scarf and not the hood, and so I would just do the scarf and maybe make like original regular hats. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion, but you do you, right? Other than that, the pattern is very easy to follow. I think my cats have done something on it. My cats have been loving this. And hopefully I have a video of carrying this around and it smells like a little blanket. And I have considered to even maybe making one for both of my cats or just gifting this one. But I mean, it's so cute. I don't want to go to shreds, right? Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please thumbs up. If you haven't, don't please thumbs up or just leave. If you haven't enjoyed it, I hope you might enjoy the next ones or the other ones that I have in there. But I truly hope you have. And I hope to see you guys sooner than later. I try to videotape like once a month at least because I'm not a past knitter and wool is everywhere. I have a life.